Hello and welcome to a very exciting video for Transformers news. So, obviously the latest addition to the Bumblebee movie studio series subline is Megatron. And yes, obviously this is concept art and he is a leader class. But, the Bumblebee line is obviously not over, as along with this Megatron, people were very excited for one other figure, which technically has been released, and that is of course Shockwave. Now, everyone for the Bumblebee movie got a proper figure, right? Like Deluxes, Voyagers. I don't think we saw any leaders apart from Megatron, but for some odd reason, they took Shockwave and made him a core class. I don't know why. There was no logic there other than the memes. But today, we have gotten legal listings from eBay. Yes, I know I'm sick of using that meme as well. But, ladies and gentlemen, please feast your eyes upon the Bumblebee movie Studio Series Voyager class Shockwave. Oh wow. So before I get into everything else with this figure, I'm just gonna get my one negative out of the way, and that is that I don't like the color scheme. I'm sorry, it is just way too desaturated for me. When you look at Shockwave in the movie, he is a very beautiful purple. It pops. This, it just looks so desaturated. You know, he looks so gray. Hell, even the Dark of the Moon Shockwave had, like, he looked better than this. Even his eye is his eye is unpainted. But of course, this could just be a prototype, we don't really know. But look at the detail in this guy. It is stunning. Now, obviously, this is not the first Voyager-sized Shockwave that we have. We do have the Leader Class Dark of the Moon version, which was just a retool of the Voyager Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. And he is, of course, Voyager-sized, but this guy, oh man, he looks so good. Here he is from the back, and just look at the amount of detail in him. He is stunning. He really, really is. And I know that customizers are going to have a field day with this guy. And the hose, it does not look like the one that's on the Dark of the Moon version. This one is a lot longer, and possibly is also, well, it's obviously going to be made of rubber, but they might have added a few plastic pieces in there. I'm not too sure. Here is a closer, more clearer look at him. And yeah, let's just take a look at that head sculpt. It is stunning. Obviously, I do wish that his eye was a lot more yellow. Because, you know, as much as I love my Shockwave with red eyes, you know, the Bayverse Shockwave, the Transformers Prime Shockwave, as much as I love that, you know, obviously it has to be yellow. To satisfy the G-Winers. But what's interesting about this figure specifically is that it has battle damage. I don't know why. Why Shockwave specifically? Megatron doesn't have any, Starscream doesn't have any, Soundwave doesn't have any, and neither do any of the other characters that show up in that sequence. So I don't understand why they gave Shockwave battle damage. But again, much like these, I was about to say Studio Series, much more like the Legacy Tarn, you can see he is going to have articulated fingers. At least I hope so. Speaking of which, I did buy this Leader Class size Legacy Tarn. It was off AliExpress, so it'll be here in about February. And here is a side profile of Shockwave, and I know what you're wondering. What does he turn into? I don't even know how to answer that question. This. This. Now, when I saw this, I was like, damn, that alt mode looks terrible, but it looks familiar. And, of course, you know, the Bayverse Shockwave did have a cool looking tank. But this one is very much inspired by the Shockwave tank mode from Transformers Prime. And you know what, honestly? I respect it. The alt mode looks terrible, but I love Transformers Prime. I do wish there was slightly more paint on this guy because apart from the purple, well, I wouldn't even call it, it's like a very faded purple. Apart from the desaturated purple and the black, there isn't really much color to this guy. I do kind of wish that they had used the purple that they had dry brushed the Dark of the Moon Shockwave with. But, mold-wise, this figure is stunning. Now again, of course, this could just be a prototype. This might not be the final product, but this looks fantastic. And he is going